Tri-Cities Community TV presents coverage of the 2022 Coquitlam Library's Science Expo.
I'm Rachel Smid, and for my project I combined CRISPR and Ebola to create a new CRISPR-based Ebola vaccine. So what it'll do is you inject CRISPR-Cas into an embryo, most likely through microinjection, which is the same way you do in vitro fertilization. And it'll cause your body to produce the EBOV glycoprotein, which are little spike things around the outside of the virus, and they're responsible for how the virus is able to enter your cells and wreak havoc, basically. So by having the body produce those, you'll have a constant baseline of immunity against this virus. And what's great is that this technology for the CRISPR-based vaccine can be modified for any virus that has existed, does exist, and will exist in the future.
My name is Knack. And today I'll be talking about my experiment, which is essentially seeing how different combinations of sound waves with varying properties produce an overall tone. So all around us are waves, and each of these waves have a set amount of properties. So these properties are, for example, amplitude. So I'll show right here. Amplitude directly relates to volume. So the higher the amplitude, the higher the volume. The next sort of characteristic of these waves is frequency. Frequency, in short, is how many cycles of a wave are performed each second, which means the higher frequency, the more sort of bunched together these waves are. And in terms of sound, frequency directly relates to pitch. So a higher frequency will produce a higher pitch. Then the third sort of attribute of these waves is phase. And in short, phase mainly shifts the entirety of the wave over horizontally. It's really once you start to combine two waves that phase starts to have an effect. There are two really very interesting phenomena that are known as constructive and destructive interference. During constructive interference, the two waves sort of overlap each other, producing a resultant wave that is double the amplitude. The next phenomena is destructive interference. So this is when you set the phase so that you get this sort of alternating pattern. And in this phenomenon, the amplitudes actually cancel each other out. And this is actually really interesting because this is the basis for noise-canceling headphones.
This is our hydroelectric water distiller. To be clear, this is not exactly a distiller. It's originally a boiler, but we've modified it a bit for the fair. Okay, so this is an example of dirty water, which you might find in third world countries. So you might see there's a lot of dust particles everywhere. So what you'll do is you'll pour this into here. There's a little gap here. And this will create kinetic energy within the turbine. You want to spin that?
Yeah, I'll spin it. And then look, it creates some light because we spun it fast enough.
And that is powered by a generator at the back. Okay, now, when the water goes through that hole, it goes into the sedimentation.
Right, so for the microfilter and the sedimentation part, it's probably the most important part of the entire project. Over here we have a microfilter that I repurposed, so that way it'll filter the muck and grime out of this water. It's really muddy, but after it goes through the filter, it becomes something close to this, but not like this yet. Oh, sorry. So when it goes through the filter and it hits the sedimentation container, the heavier particles of grime or debris will slowly sink to the bottom because it's denser than water. And so the water at the top will be much more clear and less grimy than the water that was at this very start. After we make sure that all the water is at least somewhat clean, we use our magical pink pipe that we have here. This pipe is hooked up to an RC motor and a servo, so that way it moves side to side, allowing us to control whether we want the water to go in the pipe or to take it directly out of the container. When you look at this project, you might see a lot of cardboard and a lot of recycled materials. And this is not because we could not afford proper materials, it's because This project was originally meant for third world countries. Countries that are running out of money, countries that people don't really have enough money to buy a proper water filtration system.
Hello, I'm Elshan, and my project's name is Artificial Heroic Intelligence. My question and my problem is, how can we decrease the death from brain tumors? And the problem is, brain tumors are very dangerous, especially when they are malignant, cancerous. The worst thing is when the radiologists do not know if the brain tumor is cancerous or non-cancerous from the data set, because brain tumors are sometimes tricky. Radiologists might remove a non-cancerous brain tumor while a person with a cancerous brain tumor is suffering to death. A cancerous brain tumor needs to be removed immediately because it can spread to other parts of the body and it can be deadly. My solution for this problem is this AI that I coded can identify and classify the cancerous and the non-cancerous brain tumors from the data set. The radiologists need to write the symptoms and some information about this brain tumor, and after that it will do its job. They don't need to do MRI or IV or other tests to diagnose the brain tumor. How the code works is that by the information that the data set has, it identifies / classifies the cancerous and the non-cancerous brain tumor with over 95% accuracy. With these informations that we have, like radius mean, texture mean, perimeter mean, area mean, smoothness of the brain tumor, with this information, the AI accurately identifies the cancerous and the non-cancerous brain tumors. My AI, my artificial intelligence, is free to use code, and you can use it for any problem. My goal for the future is I will make an app for this code so every hospital around the world could use this app. When I was 7 years old, my grandfather passed out because of brain tumor. He went to the doctor, but the doctors couldn't tell if he had cancerous or non-cancerous brain tumor. So he had to wait for a long time, but like with that time, the brain tumor grew very fast and it spread to other parts of his body, and it was very bad. So unfortunately he passed out. That's how I got motivated to make this AI.
Hi, my name is Billy,
I'm Sean.
and our project is solar-powered cars. Why we came up with this project is because one day I was just walking and I saw on the gas station $2.20 for gas, for just 1 liter. I was like, dang, that's very pricey. So we're thinking, why not make an alternative, right?
So as we were thinking about alternatives, we came up with many ideas, but one that stuck out to us was solar power, because solar power, if you think about it, is actually very, very cheap, as it's made out of silicon, which is the second most abundant resource on Earth. And we figured that it's actually cost-effective, fuel-effective, and work. This is our prototype right here, and it's mainly made out of wood, using our tech ed teacher to help us as well, Mr. Elshan. And basically, we laser cut out the frame and the base and the wheels, and it runs through a solar panel, which when it gets enough energy goes through a switch. Depending if it's on or off, goes through to get to this motor, which spins a rubber band, spinning the first axle, propelling it forward.
So the conclusion for this project was basically solar panel cars, they're cost effective, they don't produce emission, which doesn't add on to global warming, and yeah, that's it.
So hello, I'm Taurus.
And I'm Brayden.
Then today we're going to do today we did a water filtration experiment. So we used 5 materials in total: rocks, coarse sand, fine sand, paper towel, and charcoal powder. So we made 5 one-layer filters, one for each material, and we did three-layered filters, each with 3 of the 5 materials. The rocks one was the worst because it was very big gaps, and the charcoal powder was the best one. Charcoal powder and the paper towel were both very good because there were very small gaps between them. Overall, the paper towel was the best because the charcoal powder result was slightly yellow. We don't know why.
So we asked ourselves some questions. The first was why water filters were important. I did some research and found out that over 850 million people worldwide don't have access to drinkable water. So filters are extremely important to ensure that the less fortunate population can get water more quickly and more easily.
And then we also did some research on aquifers. So an aquifer is an underground rock layer made of broken rock, gravel, and grit. So basically, water can come down through the dirt layer and then come back up into a river or a well. This process can take days, but sometimes, especially when it goes deep down, it can take thousands of years. But then humans have been extracting water from aquifers, which can cause the area to hollow out, which might cause the top to collapse. Which is why humans shouldn't extract that much water from here.
Hi, my name is Lila Veal, and I'm in grade 5, and this is my project, Sweet Tooth. This project is to observe which drink is the most damaging to your teeth. First, I got 8 eggshells, and I put them in 8 sugary drinks. I chose these 8 sugary drinks by first surveying some of my classmates. Then I went online and I searched for 2021 popular sugary drinks. I chose to use Coca-Cola, Diet Pepsi, Orange Crush, Dr. Pepper, and then I put 3/4 cup of Dr. Pepper, Coca-Cola, Diet Pepsi, and Crush into clear glass jam jars, and then I put eggshells in those jam jars because I read somewhere that the calcium in eggshells are the same calcium in teeth. So then I left it in there in the clear glass jars for 6 weeks, about 2 months. And then every week I would observe it 2 times. And then on the last observation day, which is May 4th, I jotted down darkness scales, and the results were Dr. Pepper with the darkest scale of 10, Coca-Cola with 8, Diet Pepsi 7, Orange Crush 4, Dr. Pepper with toothpaste 8, Coca-Cola with toothpaste 6, Diet Pepsi with toothpaste 9, and Crush with toothpaste 2, and water, which is 0. What really surprised me was that the Crush, it was very dark at first, but now it's very light, even though it has the most sugar, which is 12.11 grams of sugar. It's still very light, but if you take a look in the inside actually absorbed all the color. If I were to do this project again, I would like to add Sprite because I would like to see, even if it's clear, will it still stain or affect the teeth in any way? Some things that I ran into when I was doing this was that Diet Pepsi, even with 0 grams of sugar, it still stains the teeth, as you can see right here.
My name is Kyle.
My name is Harlem.
And we're from Pitt River Middle School. So our project is the future of micro-ovens. You might be wondering, what is a micro-oven and what does eco-friendly mean? Well, my partner Harlem will explain.
Greener just means more eco-friendly. So, for example, it's going to help get rid of pollution of gases, fossil fuels, and global warming.
Micro-ovens mean you know how there's microwaves, but micro-ovens are going to be the future of microwaves. Over 30 million microwaves are sold annually every year. 90% of Americans and Canadians have a microwave in their house. I assume you have one in your house.
This is our microwave. This is the thing that we were talking about to help with the eco-friendly, the more eco-friendly design of a microwave. So, there's a motor right underneath the plate right here, and it ends up going to the side where there's a battery. On the top are solar panels.
Where our idea or innovation came from. So I think the microwave as my job at school, but you know the time where you get fed up of doing it over and over and over again? So eventually I did that so many times, I got tired of cleaning it. So I was wondering, when will there be a self-cleaning microwave where with a push of a button, it just automatically cleans itself?
My name is Chris. I'm a librarian here at Coquitlam Public Library. All of you are participants or volunteers or parents of participants or other supporters for our 2022 Coquitlam Public Library Science Expo. I've got some thank yous to give first of all. Thank you to our partners in this event. That includes School District 43, which helped with disseminating messages about this Science Expo so that some of you guys heard about it, or your parents heard about it, or your teachers heard about it and mentioned it to you. They were a key, and always are a partner to us each time we run the Science Expo. Our thanks also to Douglas College. We have a wonderful contingent of judges every time we run the expo. The judges give of their own time. They come out, they meet with you, they talk with you. They love science. They love to talk science with kids, with teens. They did a wonderful job again today. Most of our judges were from Douglas College today. We did have 2 community judges as well, so I wanted to acknowledge them. One was a gentleman named Mark. He's from Environment Canada. He's a scientist. We had Janie as well, who is a science student. She's an undergrad who works in a laboratory, so she knows lots about plant science and other things. So thank you to them, and thank you to Brian, who organizes our Douglas College contingent each year. He's up there. The gentleman in the glasses, he's waving from up above. All right. Thank you as well to our own library, because we've got people here representing the library. We have our Deputy Director, Anthea Goff. So thank you, Anthea, for helping to support this event. We have our Director of Operations, I think I've got that right, Gordana Roski. Gordana is here as well, and Gordana was helping with the judge aspect of the event, but also just providing general support. She's a very knowledgeable person. We've got also Jay Peters. He is our Manager of Programming and Community Connections. And he was responsible for a whole bunch of things today, including running around and making sure that you guys all got food. So a big thank you to Jay. A thank you to all of our teen volunteers for doing work that was sometimes frenetic and busy, and sometimes a little bit slow. The teen volunteers today are all members of the library's Teen Advisory Council. I dearly appreciate all the hard work that they put in at the event today and at other events that we hold. So, first of all, I want everyone who's here, if they can reach their back, to pat themselves on the back for a job well done. There was an incredible display of creativity, hard work, scientific knowledge ranging from grade 4 all the way up to grade 12 in the expo, and that's what we hope to see every year. When I make awards announcements, it means that certain people will be winning, but also certain people will not take home a prize. And I hope that no one takes that as a rejection of what they did, because the level of science that we saw today was very high. And that means the people you're competing with were very capable, and they came up with some amazing projects as well. But we do hope to see lots of you next year when we do the Science Expo again. There's always things that you can, even if you don't take home a prize, there's things that you can learn from the event. You'll know how it runs next time. You'll feel comfortable explaining your project. And so we hope this becomes sort of an annual event for many of you, that you keep coming back and participating in the Science Expo from year to year. All right. The way this is going to work when I make awards announcements, I'm going to start with the elementary category. And I'm going to do the prizes in reverse order, third, second, first, to build the suspense, of course. So starting with third place in the elementary category, the winner of third place for the project Digital versus Human is Amina Khan. Third place medal. Well done, Amina. In second place in the elementary category for their project, water filtration, we have Taurus and Braden. And in first place in the elementary category for her project, Soggy Energy, Can It Reduce CO2? Alexa Lee. Yeah, that's great. That means we are ready to make announcements in the middle category. Again, in reverse order. In third place, for their project about solar-powered cars, we have Billy and Sean. Billy and Sean. All right. Boom. Good job. In second place, in the middle category, for a project called Artificial Heroic Intelligence, we have Elshan. And that means there's just one prize left to announce in the middle category. It is for first place. The project that won first place in middle, hydroelectric water distillery, Lowen and Navi. All right, you guys each get one of those, and you'll be next up over here. We have junior and senior left. First place victory in junior for their project Extra Strong Eggs. We have Maria and Flavia. Thank you. We had 2 projects in our senior category. So that means I'm going to announce second and first. In senior, the second place prize for his project, Tonal Relationships Between Sine Waves. Philip, are you here? Perfect. All right. In first place for her project, Using CRISPR Technology to Eradicate Ebola, we have Rachel. I want to offer just a huge, huge thank you for all the parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles and everyone else who came out today in support. Teachers too. Thank you for supporting science at the library. We look forward to seeing many of you again next year.